Oh dear, another case of sequelitis. Bigger means better. No, it doesn't. Kingsman 2, the sequel to the highly successful, almost cultish film now, Kingsman, of the same name, that came out a few years ago, caught the whole world off guard. This little chav become gentleman crossed with super spy a la James Bond 1960s-esque spy thriller, or action spy movie I should say, was fantastic. Now this second one, with an even bigger all-star cast, promised a lot of things. The trailers look great, but now here's where the movie goes wrong. It suffers from the worst case of sequelitis I've seen for quite a long time. Now, there's an argument to be made. Right off the bat, I'm gonna say, before I go into detail, I got problems with this movie. It's not terrible. This isn't gonna get a bad score, but I've got problems with this movie. Big problems. Instead of building on what the first one did, which was action set pieces here and there, but the characters were engaging and endearing, it just goes balls to the wall action. That church scene from the first one, obviously that was a standout moment, so it decides, let's do lots of these slow-mo, one-shot, one-take choreographed fight scenes, and it becomes too much. We've got some great actors in the first one, such as Colin Firth, such as Samuel L. Jackson, such as Mark Strong. I know, let's put in the likes of Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and Jeff Bridges and Julianne Moore for this one. And it becomes too much. Now before I continue, I know that there's going to be people out there screaming, well hang on, that was one of the charming elements of the Kingsman, the first one. It was a throwback, as I've already said, to those 60s and 70s Bond movies that were very tongue-in-cheek and very over the top. Yes, this is true. When I say too much, I don't mean the action was over the top. It is over the top to the degree where you've got a falling snow elevator crashing down a mountain that's spinning 360 degrees, that's cut by an electric lasso and stopped by a parachute with the American flag all over it. It's balls to the wall action, and it's great when it does that. It's not the action that's over the top, which I'm complaining about. That's a good thing. The problem with this movie is all of the other departments where it decides to be too much. Too much of the church scene. Too many A-list actors, but without having any actual value. Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and Jeff Bridges. Take those characters out of this movie, and the movie is exactly the same. They didn't serve any purpose. The villains, you've got Julianne Moore, you've got Charlie from the first Kingsman. Even the president became a villain. So it kind of grinded on you that there were too many villains in the movie. And then they start to throw in these little side character villains. Little spoiler alert, one called Angel or Angel. Why he was in the movie, I don't know. So the movie sidetracks on all of these supposedly interesting action routes, and there's very little payoff. The payoff is obviously when Eggsy, played by Taron Egerton, is at the forefront. He's brilliant. This kid is just gold. He showed with the first Kingsman that he can do action. He showed with Eddie the Eagle that he's got range, and it's great to see him back in this role. Mark Strong was great. Essentially, the characters from the first movie who had value and who add, a dimension to the movie are great. The problem is it's peppered with so many over-the-top, repeat, 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 I like the church scene sequences, and repeat, 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 oh, we gotta have as many A-list celebrities as we can in there, that it just becomes a bit overwhelming to the degree where an action movie, which is supposed to be highly entertaining and which has balls to the wall action, actually becomes quite slow and laborious. It takes its time going off too many different tangents instead of just focusing on the main story. And I'd like to add, when you've got a villain who you actually agree with, that's just a personal opinion, minor spoiler here, Julianne Moore's main motivation in this is that she's trying to legalize drugs. Whereas the President of the United States, who turns out to be an evil dick, is trying to almost carry on the work of Richard Nixon in the war on drugs and eliminate junkies altogether. Who's the real villain there? Personally, I've always believed drugs should be legalized, they should be taxed, they should be government controlled. Don't kill all the junkies in the world, that's just inhumane. So when Julianne Moore's actually borderline on the side of humane, you gotta wonder, where did the writing go wrong there? And don't try and tell me that it's one of those, oh, well, actually, that's the depth of the movie. No, it's not. It's just sloppy writing. They actually lost the plot a bit, and the villain kind of didn't become a hero in any way, but I could relate to what she was saying, as in, I believed in her cause. That's a problem. This review's a little bit all over the place, but it's much like the movie. It's all over the place. They tried to do too much, too much, too much. The same way as I'm repeating too much, that will give you a feel for what this movie is like. It's all too much. In conclusion, guys, as much as I was really looking forward to the Kingsman Golden Circle, I'm scoring it a very average 6 out of 10. It had such promise. It brought in interesting new elements that didn't really go anywhere. It brought in new characters which serve no purpose. We didn't have enough time with the old characters because it was wasting its time with the new ones. And essentially what should have been another great balls to the wall action movie turns out to be a bit of an average balls to the wall action movie. So over to you guys, what did you think of Kingsman the Golden Circle, and what is your favourite Matthew Vaughn movie? I'd love to know that. And who is your favourite character in Kingsman the Golden Circle? Please, as always, leave your thoughts in your comments below. You'll also see right here now a link to our Instagram channel. We've got over 2,000 followers on there and growing. We post 5 to 6 pieces of really engaging movie news up there every day. Beautiful images for you guys to all go and look at and catch up on the latest movie news. That's on our Instagram page. Please be sure to also share this video, give it a thumbs up, and please be sure to hit this subscribe button right here. And until next time, from the Silver Screen Dudes, see ya.